Happy finally Friday. The Mariners, I know, shockingly lost last night. They had a lead, lost it. They play Texas again tonight. College football fans not happy. The Apple Cup tomorrow in Seattle between Washington and Washington State is only available on the Peacock Network. And the Seahawks are in New England to take on the Patriots on Sunday. Go to NCWLIFE.com, click on sports for more on that. All right, week 2 of the prep football season actually got underway with a few games last night, but the majority will happen this evening. Eisenhower hosts the Carson Graham Secondary School, an accredited international baccalaureate world school located in North Vancouver, BC. That's at Zeffel Stadium at 6 o'clock. Wenatchee opens the home part of its schedule at Leibofto Field of the Apple Bowl tonight against Mount Si. The Panthers are looking to rebound after a 26-14 loss to Lake City in Coeur d'Alene last Friday. Coach Taylor Mitchell says they learned a lot about themselves last week.
I think that we were able to learn a lot. It's nice once you actually get a game on film. You can learn a lot about yourself, your team, areas that we got to work on. And it's really all 3 phases of the football. There wasn't one side of the ball that played significantly better than the other. I think defensively we've got to do a better job of tackling. It's tough simulating what it's like to tackle in a live situation until you go out and play a game. And offensively we had some turnovers. And some of those errors were across the board. At the receiver side, offensive line. It was multiple guys that were making mistakes. So I think a lot of it's just getting stuff cleaned up and hopefully being able to run the football a little bit better this week also, which should open things up a little bit more in the passing game as well.
Senior defensive end Austin Vanderkoy says they definitely need to improve on defense, but that there's a whole new feeling after a loss this year than in years previous.
As a defensive line unit, we just need to all move in unison, disrupt the pocket. I feel like we didn't do a great job of that last week, and so this week we really focused on that. I mean, I would say watching film, our get-offs off the line were all kind of split up. We weren't getting off the ball very well, and so we worked on that in practice this week. No, man, I saw in the film room just laser focus from everyone this week. We all eyes on the field. If you're not in, getting mental reps, and if you are on the field, then you're going through your assignment.
Wenatchee at Mount Si kickoff at the Apple Bowl tonight at 7 o'clock. The game we're featuring here on the NCW Life channel has Eastmont with its home opener against Post Falls, Idaho. The Wildcats are 1-0 after getting over some early mistakes in a 34-16 road win at Bonnie Lake last Friday. Coach Jay Foster says they've tried to make corrections this week.
I want to say the advantage goes to them and the idea they have a little better feel who they are. And I think we saw our offense struggle a little bit last week, and offense usually trails defense early in the season, and it showed up for both teams last week. Our defense just had a better explosive day than theirs did, but hopefully our offense will continue to get better. We're able to address some issues that we saw on film, obviously, and hopefully we'll get those cleaned up.
Senior offensive guard Abe Garcia says they're thankful for the play of the defense to help pick up the offense when the start was pretty rough.
It was a pretty rough game for offense. We have a bunch of new starters on offense, so it's a bit of a struggle, but this week practice has been going by really good, so hopefully clean up a couple mistakes and hopefully our defense plays really good again because he stepped up last week.
Garcia says there are a couple really good players for the Post Falls team on the defensive side of the ball they'll have to keep their eyes on.
They have a really good nose guard, probably one of the best that we've seen, and then their middle linebacker is pretty solid too, but they have a few weak guys on their offense that we're going to try to exploit. So if we can take care of the Mike and the nose guard, I think we'll be pretty good.
Eastmont was bolstered in last week's game by three return interceptions for touchdowns. Coach Foster says it could have been 4.
3 pick sixes in a season, you're thinking you're pretty good. In a game? Are you kidding me?
Never seen it. And I don't know if you remember, it was actually, we had 4 and they called one back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Evan actually had 3, and that I had never seen. Never seen 2 in a game by one guy. But then the third one with Jackson was awesome. So, and we'll take it however we get it. Trust me. A win's a win.
Watch for Eastmont and more of the interviews with our pregame show tonight with Coach Foster and Abe Garcia. It's all getting underway at 6:30 here on the NCW Life channel. The rest of the Big Nine also has non-league games tonight. Sunnyside hosts Coeur d'Alene. Davis is at Sandpoint. Moses Lake entertains North Creek, and West Valley visits Pasco. Othello had no trouble with Connell last night. night, winning 42-17. The rest of the CWAC plays tonight with the Battle of the Basin between Ephrata and Quincy at Jackrabbit Stadium at 7. Sela hosts Ellensburg. Grandview is at East Valley. Prosser plays at Toppenish. Wapato dropped to 0-2 on the season with a 31-6 loss to Walook last night. Rest of the SCAC plays tonight. Cashmere hosting Kylan of Benton at 7, while Natchez Valley visits Zilla, and Royal hosts College Place. Omak is on the road at Meridian tonight in Caribou Trail League play, while Chelan visits Brewster. In Central Washington 2B play, Bridgeport has an afternoon game, actually earlier, against Tico Rosalia. The rest tonight kick off at 7 with Reardon at Lake Roosevelt. Liberty Bell hosts Okanagan. Should be an interesting one for sure. Lynn Britsville Sprague visits Manson tomorrow. Tanaska kicks off at Davenport at 5 o'clock. Aniat played everyone on the roster, and I think including the Waterboy, in an 82-6 win over Yakima Tribal yesterday. They'll have a much tougher test against Tushy next week. A couple of other 1B games tonight with Odessa at Oroville and Waterville Mansfield on the road at Soap Lake. Moses Lake Christian also hosts Always Tough to Sales Fighting Irish. That'll be tomorrow night at 6. Here's a look at a busy prep volleyball scoreboard from last night. Chelan swept Ephrata, LaSalle blanked Quincy, Cashmere down Royal 3-1. Liberty Bell stopped Cascade, that is, 3-1. Tonasket took care of Omak 3-1. Waterville Mansfield swept visiting Garden City Academy 3-zip. Eastmont topped Eisenhower 3-0. Wenatchee blanked Davis 3-zip. Moses Lake sank Sunnyside 3-0. Moses Lake visits Freeman for a tournament tomorrow morning at 8. Bridgeport plays at Curlew at noon. Aniat hosts Brewster at 12:30. Tonasket visits Davenport at 2. Omak plays host to Colville. That'll be at 2:30. Eastmont and Wenatchee are on the road at the Sundome Volleyball Festival all weekend long. Prep girls soccer Thursday. Omak blanked to Chelan 2-0. Quincy quieted Brewster 3-0. Cascade belted Liberty Bell 11-0. Ouch. Bridgeport got by Lake Roosevelt 5-2. East Valley blanked Ephrata 3-0. Cashmere shut down Royal 5-0. Ike edged Eastmont 2-1. Wenatchee beat Davis 3-1. And Moses Lake shut out Sunnyside 2-0. Coming up tomorrow at 11 a.m., games have Liberty Bell at Lake Roosevelt. Tonasket travels to Davenport, and Pateros hosts Manson. Quincy plays at Othello at noon, while Brewster's at Lakeside 9 Mile Falls. Eastmont hosts Meade at 1 o'clock, while Cascade takes on Toppenish. Chelan hosts Bush at 2. Glacier Peak visits Wenatchee at 3. Okanagan faces Napavine at Eisenhower at 5 o'clock. The Wenatchee Wild wrap up the WHL preseason with 3 games on tap here over the next 3 days. After hosting Spokane today, the Wild visit Portland tomorrow at 2 and then complete the preseason Sunday at Tri-City at 2:05. Wenatchee drops the puck of the regular season at home against Seattle a week from tomorrow. Well, a busy 2 days of racing begins tonight at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. Jerry's Auto Supply presents the Jerry Berschauer 125 tonight for the pro late models. Knutson General Contracting Bandoleros and Angel Bail Bonds Legends racing underway at 6 o'clock tonight. Tomorrow is the Neal Newberry 125. That's for the Northwest Super Late Model Series. You also have the Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars, the Bandos, the Legends. Gates open at 4:30. Racing at 6 o'clock. Go to WVSO.com for more. Whew, that's a lot of sports. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.